Greetings everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time here, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our in-depth explorations into the fascinating world of human behavior and psychology. Today, we're going to delve into a topic that holds a special place in many hearts: first love. We've all experienced that feeling of having a crush, the fluttering excitement, and the rush of emotions. But what is it about first love that makes it so unforgettable? Why does it leave such a deep and lasting impression, particularly on women? In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the psychology behind first love, examining the emotional and chemical processes involved and how these early experiences influence our future relationships. To start, let's define what we mean by first love. Your first love is often your initial significant romantic connection, the person to whom you feel a profound emotional attachment. It's much more than a passing crush or fleeting infatuation. It's a time when you're discovering emotions you've never encountered before. The excitement, vulnerability, longing, and newness of it all. But most importantly, it's your first experience with navigating the emotional intricacies of love. Psychologically, first love is crucial because it typically happens during adolescence, a time of intense physical and emotional transformation. But why does this initial romantic experience have such a lasting impact, especially on women? As we mature, we develop emotional attachment systems that guide how we form and maintain connections with others. The attachment theory, proposed by John Bowlby, suggests that our early relationships with caregivers significantly shape how we connect with others as adults. When we fall in love for the first time, we tap into these ingrained attachment systems. Now, let's explore why this attachment is especially meaningful during the adolescent years. During adolescence, the brain undergoes profound changes. For many women, this period is marked by hormonal shifts that amplify emotional sensitivity. Research indicates that during this stage, the brain's reward centers are more activated when experiencing romantic affection. This could explain why emotions felt during first love often seem so intense and all-consuming. It's the brain's first time learning how to process love and attraction. Let's dive into the science a little deeper. There are various chemicals at play when we experience love, particularly for the first time. These substances affect our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, is released in large quantities when we fall for someone. Dopamine plays a crucial role in our feelings of pleasure and reward. When you receive a message or see your crush, the excitement you feel. That's dopamine in action. But dopamine doesn't just bring pleasure, it also fuels attachment and desire. Essentially, first love triggers the brain's reward system in such a way that it becomes almost addictive. Then there's oxytocin, known as the bonding hormone. This is the same hormone that helps mothers connect with their babies. When we share physical intimacy, such as holding hands, hugging, or even locking eyes, oxytocin is released. In first love, the surge of oxytocin helps create a powerful bond and makes the relationship feel particularly meaningful. Finally, there's adrenaline, which spikes in large amounts. This is what causes the racing heart, sweaty palms, and the sense of excitement whenever we think about or see our first love. The mix of these hormones can be intoxicating, generating an emotional high that makes everything seem more vibrant. With the chemistry covered, let's explore the psychological effects. First love is often linked to idealization. When we experience love for the first time, we tend to put the person we love on a pedestal. We see them through a lens of perfection. This idealization can make the relationship seem flawless, even if, in retrospect, we realize it wasn't. But in the moment, it's often the best thing we've ever felt. This idealization creates a lasting psychological imprint. Since our first romantic encounter is so emotionally charged, we often carry those feelings and memories into future relationships. Research suggests that for women, first love can shape expectations and emotional reactions in subsequent relationships. Early experiences can influence how we interpret affection, intimacy, and emotional bonds. So, what happens when first love fades away? Is it really over, or does it leave a mark on future relationships? The reality is that first love often sets the standard for future relationships. The emotional intensity, chemical rush, and deep connection form a blueprint for how we approach love as adults. Many women, particularly, unconsciously compare future partners to their first love, looking for that same spark, excitement, or bond. Additionally, first love plays a significant role in attachment styles. Some women may find that their attachment style, whether secure, anxious, or avoidant, is deeply rooted in how their first love unfolded. Did it end abruptly? Was it emotionally turbulent? Did it cultivate trust and security? These early experiences influence how we navigate future relationships. One reason first love is so memorable is because it represents a milestone in emotional growth. For many women, it's the first time they've had to cope with the complexities of love, heartbreak, and vulnerability. The emotional resilience built during first love often carries into future relationships, enabling women to handle the highs and lows of love with greater maturity. Another powerful aspect of first love is its connection to memory. We tend to look back on our first love with nostalgia, cherishing the positive moments, and at times, glossing over the negative ones. It's natural for our brains to preserve these experiences in a fond light, particularly when we have strong emotional ties to those memories. This nostalgia is driven by the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory storage. Psychologically, reminiscing about first love is often tied to the idealized version of that experience we've created over time. Even if things didn't end perfectly, the memory of that first passionate connection can continue to influence our views on love long after it has passed. So, what happens when first love ends? Whether it concludes with a breakup, distance, or simply drifting apart, first love often leaves behind a sense of loss. The emotional investment, combined with the hormonal intensity of the experience, makes it particularly difficult to move on from. Many find it hard to shake the feelings they had for their first love, even after entering new relationships. This emotional struggle is largely due to the neural pathways that were formed during these intense experiences. When we fall in love for the first time, our brains are rewiring themselves, establishing strong connections between certain individuals, emotions, and experiences. After a breakup, it's like our brains need to unlearn these pathways, which can take time, making it hard to completely get over the experience. In conclusion, first love is significant, not just because it's our initial encounter with romantic affection, but because it profoundly shapes how we perceive relationships throughout our lives. The blend of chemical reactions, emotional attachment, and psychological growth creates an unforgettable experience, one that leaves memories that linger long after. Even as we embark on new relationships, that first love continues to influence our future emotional connections in ways we may not even realize. Whether your first love was a fairy tale or a difficult lesson, it was an integral part of your emotional journey and played a role in shaping who you are today. And that, in itself, is a beautiful thing. Thank you for joining me on this exploration into the psychology of first love. I hope this video provided you with valuable insights into why this experience remains so memorable and impactful. If you found it interesting, please give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with someone who might enjoy it. And as always, if you want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more discussions about the incredible world of psychology. Until next time, take care and continue exploring the fascinating complexities of the human mind. Thanks for watching.